What's up, everyone? ODC, that's me here, and be sure to check out BigBoyCollectibles.com for all your G.I. Joe action figure needs. Whether it's vintage or new, BigBoyCollectibles.com will have it. Yo, Joe!
What's going on, everyone? ODC, that's me here, and today's review we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends 3-pack, the Avengers, Sam Wilson as Captain America, Kate Bishop as Hawkeye, and Vision action figures. This was a 3-pack I really wasn't planning on picking up, but I got a really good price on it. I actually picked it up for $30 because this was actually under the price tag of $30 from the Shield Agents 3-pack. So I told him, I was like, hey, I saw it was in the aisle for $30, so they gave it to me for $30, and I had a coupon for $5 off, so got it for under $30. Pretty happy about it, pretty excited. I think this is actually the old Captain America shield, which is actually the better shield to have, I think, because it was actually sculpted, the star was actually sculpted in, and I think the shield is actually a little bit larger than the one that we have now, but we can get to that comparison in a second. But here we have Vision, blah blah blah, and a blah blah blah. So there we go. Here's the side artwork. We've got Vision up top, Sam Wilson, and then Kate Bishop on the bottom. Here's the figures on the back, and it just says, Defenders of Justice, these heroes suit up to protect humanity and the world. Very dramatic right there. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get all three of these out of package and we'll take a closer look at them. Okay, and we've got all three figures out of packaging, and I gotta say I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this 3-pack. I had lowered expectations, to be honest with you, and to be honest with you, I think all three figures are pretty solid. Now, depends on whether if you really want to nitpick, you can find problems with them. Just one to point out, which actually my good friend Stryden pointed out, is the fact that his torso is entirely too skinny, and his shoulders make him actually the ball sockets on the shoulders make the torso look even skinnier. But I mean, that's just stuff to nitpick. Overall, I think the set's pretty solid as far as comparing them to the other 3-packs that we've got, like the, what was it, Radioactive Man, Miss Marvel, and Captain America. I think this is actually a better 3-pack, to be honest with you. Now, some might disagree, but whatever, it's kind of a personal preference thing. Also, with the Shield Agent 3-pack, I think this is a much better 3-pack than that as well. So, that being said, let's take a look at each figure individually. First, we'll take a look at Kate Bishop. Let me just get these two guys out of the limelight here. Kate Bishop, she comes with her reused bow from Hawkeye. I believe this was used with the Marvel Now Hawkeye and the movie Hawkeye. So, but this is actually painted a black color. This would be an all silver plastic, nonetheless. But there is some. It's actually not a black color. It's kind of like a. Oh no, this is black, and this is actually like kind of like a navy almost, or maybe I'm just colorblind. I don't know. Almost looks like a dark gray, almost like a navy. I would mostly go with dark gray, but anyway, I digress. She also comes with her quiver, which is actually on the side of her leg. I do not like this design, to be honest with you. I have been informed that some archers do actually use this style, but for me, it makes more sense as far as if you are, I don't know, if you're some sort of acrobat or if you're rolling around in battle, you don't want this thing flopping around or smacking you in the chin while you're jumping. I don't know, it's just something I thought of. I always thought quivers worked better on your back. This way they're out of your way and you can maneuver better. But, you know, that's part of her design. The quiver, you can pop it off, does have a hole inside there. I'm not sure how deep this hole is. That's what she said. But let's see if you can actually fit. Try to find something. You know what? I'll just use a Joe gun here as I knock 10 figures over my review space. We'll use this shotgun just to see if it'll actually holster. And as you can see, the sculpting actually, there's sculpting in there and it stops it from going all in there. So if you wanted to put an arrow in there, you either have to cut it and then glue it in there, but that would be just a faux arrow like these, or you would have to just Dremel further deep into the quiver itself. I don't really see a point to doing this. They should have just given you a fully sculpted quiver with arrows, faux arrows in there, instead of giving you a quarter hole to work with. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me. She also doesn't come with any arrows, which doesn't make sense to me either. But I don't know. I mean, if this is a 3-pack, you should be getting a little bit more, seeing as it only pretty much comes with what, 2 accessories with her, including the quiver that's supposed to be attached to her leg. I'll just include the bow as her one accessory, really. But she should have came with at least 1 arrow. That would have been nice, I think. Overall, the design, some people like it. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think this is really very functional, to be honest with you. I know that's just like, oh, well, it's a different design, get over it. But for me, I just don't like the look. I'm just going to be honest with you. I really do like this head sculpt, though. The head sculpt looks really good. The hair, the face, definitely did a really good job with the cheekbones. The paint looks really solid on her. I'm going to be honest with you. So that part, I think, looks really good, to be honest with you. So no issues there. She's way off camera. Sorry for a second there. And no issues there. As far as her articulation goes, I mean, she's on the pretty much the teen body. And her head can swivel. It's very hindered by the peg. It's actually, I shouldn't say the peg, it's actually hindered by the back of her hair being sculpted. There actually is, if you pop the head off, there is a hinge joint where the neck is, but it's not really utilized due to the hair sculpt. But she can actually look down, so if you needed to know that. Let's see if we got some job turkeys. Oh, we got a little job turkey. And that's it. As far as the arms go up, down, full 360 rotation, a single bend, a swivel at the wrist, a hinge at the wrist, going back and forth, same on the other side. Diaphragm joint, which crunches forward that far and goes back, pivots side to side. No waist swivel, but she does have these awkward... Now this is what's really awkward, is the fact that she can't really do the splits where she's supposed to. You really kind of have to... Uh-oh, what was that noise? Something snapped. I don't know what that was, but that was weird. She wants to, when she does a split, she actually wants to kick her legs out forward a little bit. So there's that. Legs go forward, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Just have an ankle hinge, which could go further forward a little bit better. That's about neutral. That's about forward. So, there's an ankle pivot. A little awkward ankle pivot, to be honest with you. This piece right here on her ankle is actually a separately sculpted piece. But I think it looks good, to be honest with you. The gloves look okay. They're just painted on. They're not sculpted or anything. So there's that to point out. And she can hold her bow just fine in her hand. There we go. Could have her posed like so, as if she's let her arrow go. So there's that. Not the best pose in the world, but I mean, you get my drift. So I mean, I really do like her head sculpt. I think it looks really good. As far as the paint, some of her the skin tone on this arm isn't really matching the skin tone on her shoulder or on her hips. The shoulder, I can't talk. The skin tone on her shoulder and hips, they match each other, but on this arm, they're a little bit different because I believe they had to paint the skin tone here and here and here, but they didn't have to paint it here, so it's just a plastic. So, just to note something, just so you know. But that's Kate Bishop. Now we'll move on to Vision, which I actually think that this is the best Vision that we've got so far, to be honest with you. Is it perfect? Hell no. But, Kate, work with me. Work with me, woman. Don't be annoying. Anyway, this is the best Vision. I like this Vision better than the Hulk Build-A-Figure Vision. I like it. I actually like the color scheme a lot better too. This kicks the ever-loving crap out of that 3-pack that we got, that awful 3-pack with Hulk and Ultron and Vision, that white Vision. Mine was all deformed, if you remember my review. But you can go back, and I was not pleased with that. As far as the paint goes, there are a couple of problems with mine. There's little crevices that were not painted on him, especially in the seams right here, as you can see right there. But and it's all the crevices were painted on this side, but this side not so much, as you can see the little black spots that were missed. There's also, and I'm just pointing this stuff out, I'm not saying this is a horrible figure, but there's paint splotches right here on the leg. There's some, here, let me just take his stupid cape off. There's definitely a lot of paint slop on the back of his leg. But other than that, I don't really see a big problem with him. I actually really like this head sculpt. I think it looks really crisp and clean. They did a really good job sculpting this head. They even went into so far as to make some sculpted detail going throughout his head into a little detail all around his head, sculpted into the gem on his head. It looks really good. It just really looks crisp and clean, this head sculpt, I think. I don't really see too many lines. You see a little bit of a line right there where they molded the head together, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Other than that, some of the lines look really good on his chest. Is it perfectly centered? No, it's not. But I think it looks a lot better than the other two Visions, to be honest with you. And he comes with this really nice cape, which is actually a newly sculpted cape, which I think looks pretty damn good, if you ask me. What else? There is a little bit of paint slop on the shoulder here, on each side of the shoulder on his cape, but like I said, I guess if I were sitting here nitpicking the shit out of everything, then, you know, no figure would be any good, right? So Vision, I do like him. I mean, he's your typical Bucky Cat body mold. It's going to be the same articulation, so I'm not going to go through it. With her, it was a little bit different, so I decided to go through it, but we all know what to expect with Bucky, the Bucky Cat body. Moving on to Falcon Captain America, Mr. Sam Wilson here. Falcon looks pretty good. Falcon, I think, is probably the gem of the 3-pack, even though the majority of him is a reuse. This is actually the Marvel Now Captain America body, and I don't think it's the worst reuse that we've seen. He actually does come with a better shield than the other Captain Americas lately have been coming with. And I'll just use a comparison to show you guys. I'll bring in Red Guardian here. And this is pretty much the shield that we've been given for Cap as of late, is this bland, small, crappy little shield that I absolutely just can't stand. This is what we used to get Now, this started with the movie figures, I believe. And as you can see, the shield on the right is much smaller than the shield on the left. And makes a huge difference. I don't know why Cap's shield keeps getting smaller and smaller. Soon he's going to be walking around with a penny on his arm. I don't know what's going on here. But they need to either go back to this, because we actually had some sculpting in this, including the rings here on Cap's shield. This was actually sculpted, and so was the star. Now we just get painted stars and stripes, and it's just, I don't know, it just really comes off as cheap shit to me. I don't like it. I don't like this shield at all. We even had some sculpting on the inside. Now, some people in the past were nitpicking that this should be painted right here, but, I mean, how many times do we actually see this portion being painted? Unless it's, you have all your Captain America shields plastered onto the back of him. You know what I mean? That's not a big deal to me. As long as we have the sculpting there, that's not a big deal. I don't care. This has nothing. This has no sculpting at all. This is unacceptable. I'm sorry. And for some reason, I don't know why, but these plastic clips keep getting cheaper and cheaper. They should just go back to this. I think it looks better. He does have a peg hole at the back. Let me get Red Guardian out of here. That was my little shield comparison there. It does peg onto the back. And I really do like this head sculpt. I think they did a really good job on the head sculpt. Really does look like Sam Wilson as Captain America. It's just a damn shame that we haven't gotten a comic Falcon figure. Just a regular comic updated Falcon figure from how he looked in, I don't know, let's say 2010, 2011, 12. You know, that would have been nice if we would have got that look, like a yellow and red looking Falcon with some nice comic wings. That would look nice. I'm not the biggest fan of Falcon Captain America, to be honest with you. I prefer Steve Rogers as Captain America. That's just me. Nothing against the Falcon Captain America character. Some people like him. That's fine. I'm not dissing anyone who likes the character. But that's what I prefer. Newly sculpted, brand new sculpted upper torso with this piece right here on each side. And I believe these are actually the straps to his wings, I'm pretty sure. And then the Falcon Captain America logo on his chest, which I actually think is really well done, nicely sculpted here. The paint looks, could be a little bit better over here. It's a little bit sloppy right there. But, like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. My biggest issue with this figure is that we have no wings. Now, why would you give us Falcon Captain America with no wings is beyond reasoning. I don't understand why. Obviously, people are going to say, well, it's because of costs, but that's horseshit. If you're going to give us Falcon Captain America, you damn well better give us some wings. I mean, that's like giving us Captain America with no shield. Doesn't really make sense, right? It's kind of an important part of his character, correct? The shield. Like, Falcon's wings are an important part to him. So you should include that. I'm sorry, but there's no excuse why they didn't include that, and I think it's bullshit that they didn't. Now, this is going for around $60 to $50 at Toys R Us, and this is a Toys R Us exclusive. So you really have to pick and choose what you want to do here. Now, I happened to pick this up for $30 because this was placed at the $30 I guess item location where the Shield Agent 3-pack was. So I ended up picking up this for $30. I think I got my money's worth with $30. If I were to have paid $50 or $60, I would be kind of pissed off. I'm going to be honest with you. This is not worth $50 or $60, to be honest with you. Now, some people might argue, well, these are $20 each. Sure, you got your money's worth if you paid $50 or $60. Falcon, if he were a single release, he would have came with his wings if you're a $20 figure, and included his shield. That's just my look on it. Now, if these were separate releases, that's what I'm saying. They would have came with more and a Build-A-Figure piece. So that's what you have to tell yourself here. There's no reason why he didn't come with wings. There's no reason for that. She should have came with some arrows, and you could have. I mean, you could have left him the way he is and just given us wings, his shield, and a couple arrows with her, and it would have been a much better 3-pack in my opinion. But I don't know. Overall, I would say you probably might want to pass on this. I think it's a solid 3-pack. It's probably, I mean, it's definitely, I like it definitely better than the other 3-packs that have been released, which was Hulk, Vision, and Ultron, and the Shield Agent 3-pack, and the Miss Marvel, Captain America, and Radioactive Man. Now, this is, I think, the better of the 3-packs, but I mean, it's not really saying much because we haven't been given really good 3-packs, to be honest with you. They haven't been stellar. And they've been very stingy about giving us accessories, which it just drives me nuts. So, final verdict on these, I'd say she's okay. He's solid. He's the best of the bunch. So, with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.